because I'm just tired of not having no free time. I don't have no free time to do anything. I'm just working, going home, sleeping, working. It's taking a toll. So I quit door dashing. I decided that I want to get baptized. So I reached out on Facebook. Is there anyone that can do baptisms, without actually being a member of the church or a permanent member? Because I don't have a way to go to church right now because I work Sundays. I'm trying to find a way around it. Finally, this pastor, I think I called a couple churches looking for a place to baptize. I called a couple churches, and this one answered and says, if you can attend one of our services, we can do it for you. I was like, all right. So I go back to working for a little bit. I did attend one of the services. He told me they forgot to get the tank filled or something like that, and it wasn't prepared yet. So we could do it next week. I was like, okay, that's fine. Next week comes. I head home a little bit early, I think, from work, if I remember correctly. I go and I pick up my kids, and as I'm leaving, my car breaks down. As I'm leaving to go get baptized, my car breaks down. Acting weird. So I messaged the pastor and tell him I think Satan's trying to stop me from getting baptized. My car just broke down. It took me a minute. I ended up borrowing my mom's vehicle, and I went over there anyway. On the way there, my kids are like, can we get baptized too? I was like, of course you can if you want to get baptized. I'm not going to stop you. Before this, there was a moment where I was sitting in the car with my kids, and I was just like, guys, do you want to be saved? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in Jesus? And I led them through the repentance prayer. And then as I'm heading to the church, they say they want to get baptized too. I was like, I'm not going to make you get baptized, but if you want to, I'm happy. Yes, of course you can get baptized with me. They said, yeah, we want to. I was like, okay, cool. So we head to the church. You guys, the video's on Facebook. We get baptized, all three of us. He says something about, are you ready to serve the Lord with all your heart, all your soul and all your mind? I was like, I already do. The Lord told me, back when I was like, I promised the Lord, I was like, if you let me live through, this, I don't want to spiritually sin, I don't want to die, none of this stuff, then I'll serve you when I die. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it. No questions asked. I didn't realize that I would be serving him today as well. So we got baptized. I go home. I start trying to get better at prayer, but most of the time I just talk. I just talk to him. Some of the voices come through and they're like mean. Some are nice, and I'm like to myself, I'm like, I don't care, because I know who I'm trying to reach, and he knows who I'm trying to reach. That's all that matters to me. So I start really delving into spiritual warfare, because not only have I been hearing things and dealing with things and symptoms, I'm having nightmares now. And I've literally rebuked demons from my dreams. So I'm starting to realize, this is real. There's something to this. So I start studying a lot. I start sharing a lot of information, trying to help people. And I start having a bunch of different visions and dreams and words. I don't remember exactly what order they come in. But I do remember shortly after the original vision, I was laying down in bed, and Noah's Ark came up again. I saw the boat. I saw the water. I saw the raft loading up the animals onto the boat. And then after that, I saw this white dove, bird, something. It was like a white dove flying on the water, just flying. And I was like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was like, God, if this is you, give me a sign, or something like that. This is the only time where a vision I've had has reacted to my voice. As I said this bird was flying. It beelined, it like turned, and it flew straight towards me multiple times. Right in my face. I saw the bird come like 3 times. A voice came through saying, "Now do you understand? You are chosen." And I was just like, I was speechless. So I went back, back to life. Like I said, I'm just doing normal things, working, living my life, talking to these things, still trying to understand it. If it's nice to me, sometimes I'll speak to it. If it's not, I ignore it. I rebuke it if it gets too annoying. I remember after that I had the revelation. I had the revelation dream after that one. But that wasn't a dream. That was a vision. I was laying in bed the same way because I found out, the light and stuff seemed to work pretty well. So I laid down and I had the revelation dream. Exactly how it says in the Bible. Besides, at the very end of it, I saw the demons being melted in the lake of fire. Like 2 demons in particular. I don't know what they were, who they were, I don't know, but it was just like ugly looking demon being sunk into this lake of fire. And then I saw Jesus over there. The robe was just blown in the wind, like, it's victory, time to reign. Something like that. It was pretty cool. But during this vision, there's an important part I got to mention. As I'm trying to watch this vision, this evil voice comes through saying, "What do you see? What do you see? Tell me what you see." And I was like, if you could see it, then you need to see it. If you don't, then you don't. It's that simple. He got mad at me. And I don't know whether it was me. I don't know whether it put a thought. I don't know whether it influenced me to make me do it, or whether he attacked me in general. But for some reason, I got to the point where when my eyes were closed, I couldn't open my eyes, and I felt like this pressure holding my eyes closed. And I was like outside of my body in a sense. Like I couldn't move my fingers. It was like I was in spirit trance mode. Eventually, I collected my thoughts. I got to points where I could wiggle my fingers and I could open my eyes. This still happens sometimes today. If I veer off into a vision for too long, I'll start losing I'll start losing the thought to move my fingers and stuff like that. I don't see it as dangerous. No. So I ended up, after that, the vision ended up leaving. Like I said, I could sit here and I can see things all the time. Literally all the time. I can close my eyes right now and I can start seeing something. So I have to make time for it. And I'm already busy. So I make what time that I can. And sometimes it's hard to see. But I go back to life for a while. And as I'm closing my eyes, sometimes, you close your eyes to sleep. I close my eyes and I see this energy sometimes. All the time. All the time. And I remember after that moment, I fell asleep and I had this dream. we were in this maze. It looked like kind of like Jerusalem-esque maze, because it looked like the type of walls that they would have over there. And there was a lot of people, and we're all moving through this area, searching for Jesus. And there were a lot of people. Some people, I couldn't hear them, but I knew. Like, some people have near-death experiences and stuff. They say they just have this knowing, this telepathic knowing. And that's how it was. I knew that I had good intentions, that I was trying to find him. And there's other people that did too. But there was a lot of people that did not have good intentions, and they were trying to find him to hurt him. So, as I'm walking around this maze, I come into this little dead-end corridor type thing. And for some reason, I'm looking at this wall, and I touch it. And when I touch the wall, it raises up. There's somebody beside me. I don't know who they are, but I feel this presence beside me, walking with me the entire time. I go into this door, and the door closes. And Jesus was laying there. It almost looked like a tomb. The same tomb, laying there asleep. Like, I didn't get the sensation that he was dead, but he was just sleeping. And I don't remember the color of his skin. I don't remember none of that. I just remember my mind telling me that was Jesus laying there. Or Yeshua, whatever you want to call him. And this person, I never got the sense to look at them. The only sense that I had was that that's all I wanted to see. I didn't care about anything else around me. I was just watching him. And I also got the sense that he was telling me that he trusted me enough to fall asleep in front of me. Shortly after that, I woke up from that dream. That was a dream that I had. Go back to life, still studying, doing everything else. And then I have a lot of other ones. I'm trying to think of what else I've had. There's a lot of different visions I've had. I've shared them all on Facebook. They're on Reels. The Lord's given me some words of things that have come to pass. But you will see, I never got out of it, guys. I learned truth. I learned to walk the spiritual path. I learned to trust in the Lord to protect me. I learned how to rebuke. I learned how to cast out. When demons attack me, I attack back. I exert my authority that the Lord gave me. I don't fear it. So, I had a few more dreams. I'm not going to give them all the detail because it's take too long. They're on my Facebook. People want to see them. I post everything that I have to the people because I want other people to see what I see and to have their own explanations to what they think it may be. So, I will say some of the ones that I think are important or that hold some relevance to today. I know one time I was told to come outside with a notebook and pad. And he told me, this may not be the exact words, but he told me that basically war is coming very shortly. The Middle East is right at the doorstep, to the USA. This was I was told these words while the Gaza and Israel and Hamas stuff was taking place, and that Israel is going to lose that war. This was another word I was given, not at the same time, but just in general. I was told that Israel is going to lose that war, and Hamas and Gaza are going to come attack the U.S. next. I was also told that what was it? I'm trying to remember. That Putin, I said this earlier, is going to threaten us with nuclear war, and that we are going to get attacked on the West Coast as well. He didn't tell me who, but he said you'll be attacked on the West Coast, California coastline. It was his exact words, California coastline. And you look at that, and who's in that area? It's Russia and China, and they're the ones that are mad at us right now. I was told that war is going to come in 2 years, and this has been about 4 weeks ago since I was told this. I was told the supplies may be hard to come by, so you might want to start getting stuff and preparing just in case. For that one, I was told I can do with that word what I want. And I thought about it for a while, and I told the Lord, I was like, you know me by now. What do you think I'm going to do? Of course I'm going to share it to the people. I always put myself last when it comes to every situation. I don't care if I become called crazy. I don't care if I'm wrong. But in my heart, I couldn't be given all this information knowing it may come true and not share it. That's the reason why I do what I do today. I'm willing to put my reputation, whatever reputation I have, I lost everything anyway, on the line for the possibility that this stuff may come true. I was told we need to secure the borders. Before they started talking about the way they are now, the way it is, like it's like a major topic now of getting a bill done and people actually going down there and doing something about it and getting people there. I was told that spiritual warfare is going to become a thing, a major thing in the future, and y'all need to prepare. Now, this was kind of wishy-washy. I wasn't given the direct word, but I was given this strong revelation that we need to start studying this stuff, and you guys need to start learning self-deliverance. You need to start rebuking. You need to learn how to fight spiritual warfare. And I shared my story because I want you guys to know the symptoms that you may go through, the way demons operate, the way they attack. I found out, I can't say for sure, that some of this stuff in my head sounds automatic, and it makes most sense to me, because you read the Bible, it says that Satan puts you in spiritual bondage. It also states that basically God will allow Satan to tempt disbelievers. So it seems to me that there is sentient beings. I told you guys this a long time ago, that there's this automated spiritual frequency depends on the thoughts you have or do not have. Sometimes you don't even have them. Sometimes it's sent to you anyways, trying to cause temptations. Sends this thought to your head, trying to get you to think certain ways or act certain ways or do certain things. And more often than not, it's sinful in nature. So, then you start thinking about it. You have these frequencies shot into your head and these sentient beings speaking to you that you, a normal person, can't hear. How do you fight against it? You get filled with the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit renews your mind. What do you think that means? It means He takes away these temptations that your flesh and these demons are sending to you. It tells you not to rely on your own understanding. Rely on God. That's why. Because we're being influenced in Satan's world. This is Satan's world. God may be the ultimate sovereign of it, but Satan does have some authority here. And he's going to get more authority in the end times, which is what we're in now. And if you don't believe it, then do your research and you'll find out. Everything's lining up. There's people even talking. The military was calling for spiritual readiness. They're getting high people. They don't want just anyone. They want high people to go in there and spiritually train their soldiers to be ready for whatever's to come, if it is to come, or just to be ready in general, because they don't want to take their religion from them. You have some, I don't know if it was a mayor or man, they're talking about this stuff. They're realizing that this is a spiritual war, and that there's weird powers at play here that people don't understand. Because they're making these weird moves, and it's a push. Hamas is trying to make it seem like they only want to take down Jerusalem, but that's not the case. They hate not just Christianity, but Jesus in general. A lot of them. Some of them don't, some of them do. Hamas, most of them do. They want to take out Christianity. They want to take Jerusalem off their pedestal. They see Jerusalem as the little Satan. USA is the big Satan. And they want to take us both out. So, I was also told, and I can't say for sure, but I'm going to go ahead and put it out there anyways. Like I said, guys, I don't care about my reputation. I don't. If I end up being wrong, I'm okay with that. I'm fine. My concern lies more in the being right and not sharing. That's my concern. And so far, the things the Lord's been showing me have been right. The war's escalating. The USA is getting involved. Hamas is gathering allies, which I was told that too. Hamas is going to gather allies. Even some of the USA is against Israel, and it makes literally no sense. You have people pro-Palestine right now. It makes literally no sense because they attacked them. They took hostages and caused all this. And the twisted media is changing it. And people won't do their own research. You want to sit there and believe this twisted stuff, but you won't believe the real stuff. You don't see the facts in front of you. So, I was told that another dream I had. This one wasn't too long ago. One of them I had was of this waterfall. I had a vision of this waterfall of Jesus sitting there with his robe above his head. Like, it just told me that was him. With his hands in a praying position. Just praying. I was later told what this place is, possibly, but I can't share it. That's for me. So, I had a vision of this waterfall multiple times. Sometimes it changed. Sometimes it was a waterfall and like angels were like flying around it, having a good old time. But wherever this place was, it was like a safe place. It's like a place they like to go. And I saw that. And there's a few times I've seen visions of like demonic faces. There was a time where I started seeing, as I'm looking in, I close my eyes, I'm seeing myself move, like moving around. And I start trying to test it. And so I'm like envisioning myself looking up and moving down. So I'm looking down, I'm in the bathroom, I'm looking down, and I'm trying to zone in. I'm trying to like zone with my eyes or whatever, focus to go down. And I start going down. And the voices in my head start getting really, really dark and demonic sounding. And they're like, "What are you doing down here? You should not be down here." And they were even telling me that if I didn't leave, they were going to try to trap me down there. That kind of scared me a little bit because I started seeing like these demonic faces and stuff and mental images popping up in my head. And so I went back up. And I sat there for a minute. And I was like, that was terrifying. But I got to do it. I mean, I got to try to go up. I already went down. Got to go try to go up. So I look up. And I start focusing to try to make myself travel up. And as I'm going up, I see this angel. Or being, like a light being. I want to say an angel. Flying. Like it was like flying, and then it would stop and like kind of look at me like it was like, are you coming? And I'm following it. And I'm following it. And I'm following it. And bam! I hit this barrier. Some weird barrier. Maybe it was the firmament. I don't know. Bam! Hit this barrier. Can't go no further. So, sadly, I go back down. I start looking around, and I start trying to focus my eyes, and I start realizing I'm seeing other things. I'm seeing colors, and I'm seeing sometimes visions behind my eyes projecting into reality, ceilings, walls, whatever. And this is, when I start noticing that I'm starting to see in the spirit now. So I'm like, for some reason I get the thought, it's like, I'm going to try again. So I look up, I do it again, and I like picture myself, I say, I'm going to go fast. I'm going to be like rocket speed. Try to picture myself going fast. So I shoot up, I blast off, going faster. Now I don't actually blast off like a rocket, but my movement goes faster. And I go, and this time, where I normally hit that barrier, I don't hit the barrier no more. I go straight up, and I'll go in this place, and it's bright. It's bright. And there's a lot of beings there. I can't see them because they're so bright white. And they say, welcome. But it's not your time to come here yet. And I'm just sitting there dumbfounded. I'm like, is this real? Is it not real? To this day, I'm like, is it real? Is it not real? I don't know. But they let me sit there for a minute looking around. And then they shot me back down. I didn't have to leave myself. They shot me out. I felt my vision like just traject me downward. It wasn't like a bad one. It was just like, moving back down to normal. It's not like, you don't belong here. It wasn't like that. But it was just like, they let me visit. And then I left. Was it real? Was it not real? I don't know. But it was cool, nonetheless. I haven't tried to do it lately. I try not to mess with these areas unless they mess with me. So, fast forward a little bit. Going back. Still, like I said, still working. Still doing my thing. And I have this dream. I have a lot of different dreams. If you want to know all the different dreams I've had, I'm not going to have them all on here. But I'm going to share the ones that were impactful and I remember. First, I'm going to tell you, I started having these visions of Sumerian stuff. I started seeing symbols on walls. I started seeing some of these so-called deities. The female deity, I don't know what her name is right at the top of my head. It started with an I. But I started seeing little pictures and visions of that. As well as in reality, when I was trying to see in the spirit, I would start seeing this figure with like detail, I guess you could say. I couldn't fully see the figure, but I could start seeing detail. And it's like that to this day. I see some figures and I see like split details of them, knowing they're not disembodied spirits. Some of these aren't. Some of these are. Some of these aren't. So, I start seeing all these Sumerian things, and this is the reason why, guys, you guys saw. I started questioning things. I was like, what is the truth? Maybe the Sumerian texts are the truth. Maybe, And I'm like asking, I'm like asking God. I was like, what is this, guys? And I'm like, I made a reel saying, I'm allowed to research whatever I want, guys. This is a path I need to go down, and I need to figure it out. It's either going to lead me away from God, or it's going to lead me stronger to God. Mind you, the voice at the time that I'm truly believing is the Holy Spirit told me, you will come back. Even told me welcome back the moment I did. Or we missed you, or something like, or I missed you, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said. Like I said, I talk to the Holy Spirit every day like a friend. Like, he's like my friend, he's like my fellowship. I can't remember every single little thing we talk about, because it's just a talk. He wants to be your friend, guys. You guys say he only comes through to say specific things. That's not necessarily true. He wants to be a part of your everyday life. He wants to know about how your day went at work, things you're doing. Okay. So I started having all these visions and these dreams. Like I said, I saw Sumerian symbols. I saw different areas. I saw different Sumerian kings that were popping up in visions, and I didn't understand why. And I started going down a different path for a minute. I didn't leave Christianity, but I was just delving into other things. And I had a dream where I was like literally looking at myself, and I had this symbol in my eyes. I can't remember what it is to this day. And it was activated, and it was moving. The close I got up, and the close I even saw a map one time that I can't remember. But anyways, I saw the symbol in my eyes that was moving, it activated. I looked it up, and the closest symbol I could find that even remotely made me think that maybe that was it, was the symbol of Metatron and the seal of the living God. So I'm like, I posted on Facebook. I was like, I had this dream. What does it mean? One of my friends, she gave me some information about it. And I thought about it for a while, trying to figure it out. I was like, does that mean he's my guardian angel? Does that mean I'm going to be an angel in the future? Because it says that humans can't be angels and angels can't be humans. But when you become a spirit, you're not a human no more. You're a spirit. So these are the thoughts I was having at the time. I was like, what does this mean? It talks about angels being on earth watching humans. So I started just wondering. I wasn't saying I believed it for real, but I started wondering, like the wonderment of a child. I was like, what does this mean? Why do I have this weird symbol in my eyes doing this? And why is it leading me to the seal of the living God? Why is it leading me to this Metatron symbol? Because I was looking up Sumerian symbols, and that's when I saw the Yahweh triangle symbol, and I also saw the Metatron symbol, and I couldn't figure out which one it looked more like. I couldn't remember exactly what the symbol was, and so I was going back and forth. I didn't know. To this day, I don't know what that was. And so I'm questioning things. I start looking up the deities. I start looking up things. And there was a moment while I was like in reality. Because when I first came back, I was just walking around. I was just happy to be back in reality. After I found out things were good and every that, I was just walking around. And these beings came through. And at first they were trying to tell me, you have to send people, whether it's up or down or whatever. You have to give them like a goodbye message. They're literally making me try to seem like I have to sit there and say goodbye to these departed spirits. That's already detrimental by itself. Hearing these dead spirits crying, saying, I don't want to go, and all this other stuff. And then, after I refused to do that, I did it for a minute. Then I was like, this ain't my job. I don't know what this is not my job. I'm not doing this. You can't make me. So I started ignoring it. And then they started telling me these automated things I hear were called fates. At the time, I had no idea what that was. They just brought this word up out of nowhere. Like, what does that mean? It means you hear choices that people can make, and you get to help them decide what they're going to make. I was like, I don't want to do that either. I didn't believe it. I'm letting you guys know I don't believe it, and I didn't believe it. But because I just leave this stuff alone. And they told me that. And I fought with that for a while. I even tried to do it. I even tried to do something stupid just to see what would happen. To see if it was real. I was like trying to send this message to somebody. To get him to do something. It never happened. But there was a moment where I was at where there was a fluke. I don't know. I was at my mom's house, and I was like sending a message to my brother saying he was a smoker, and I was like, how could I send a message that's not terribly evil, but yet try to test this and see what happens? So I tried to send a message to him and his girlfriend both, saying they wanted to smoke. They need to go outside and smoke. Within like 5 minutes of sending that message, they come outside to smoke. So, was it a fluke? Was it not? I don't know. There was another moment where I was laying in bed, and I heard this message supposedly from my dad come through saying, man, I wish one of these kids would get out here and help me with this lawn. I'm like, get my shoes on. I walk outside. I was like, do you need help with something? He's like, yeah, can you help me hold this, move this out of the way? And it's like, all right. I was told to come out here and help you. And then, it's a long, I'm trying to like summarize it up so this can be the end of it. Because I felt like I needed to get it done. So, after I heard about the fate thing, let's go back up to the Sumerian stuff that I was just not talking about. I start researching Sumerian stuff. And one of these abilities that these supposed deities have is called fate. Every single one of them can control choice. Supposedly. Now, I forgot to mention way back when I was going through my thing, how there was this being in the clouds that kept popping down saying, shut up down there, I'm trying to sleep, we're trying to sleep. I heard this too. Back when I was still at my roommate's house. There was this being with like a bird mask on, looking down, give me a vision of him looking down from this clouds, telling humans to shut up because they're trying to sleep. I didn't think nothing of it at the time. I also had this other being, after I wasn't listening to him, this other being came through trying to sound like my mom, saying, it's time to go to sleep, honey. It's past your bedtime. I was like, Mom, I'm a grown man. Leave me alone. And this happened every night around the same night. And I was getting so frustrated with it. But this one right here in the clouds is important. Okay. So now let's go all the way back to where I'm talking about the Sumerian stuff. Okay. So I find out these Sumerians, deities, supposedly have this fate ability. Every single one of them possess it. Not only that, I start reading into some of the Sumerian texts, just out of curiosity, trying to figure these things out. Why am I having these visions? Why am I having these dreams? And I find out, that the reason why, in the Sumerian text, the reason why the flood took place is because the humans were being too noisy, which I'm assuming doesn't just mean sleep. It means they were being too rambunctious and too annoying, basically. And the Sumerian god, I don't remember which one it was. Was it Enlil? I think it was Enlil. Maybe Enlil. I think it was Enlil. Enlil got annoyed, which would be called our Lucifer or Satan of today. Lucifer today. Enlil got annoyed and flooded the earth. Anu, the big guy, supposedly, just agreed to it. He agreed with him. It wasn't his decision, but he agreed and let him do it. So, as Enlil is trying to flood the world, Enki would be our Jesus. Enki caught wind of this, and he liked humanity. He was I think he was like over the earth. And he went and spoke to, I don't know his name. It would be the Noah of the Bible. It started with a Z. And warned him about this stuff and told him he needed to build the ark and the other stuff like that to avoid this flood. I'm not saying this is the truth. The important part of it is that these demons, or whatever they were trying to make me believe Sumerian stuff. And my thought is that these demons that died during the flood are spreading these propagandic stories, trying to pervert the Bible, And I'm witnessing it firsthand. I'm seeing all of these different deities trying to confuse me. I'm seeing this entity from the sky telling me to shut up, telling us to shut up, or, trying to sleep. That was what they did. They flooded because they said they were being too noisy and the gods were trying to sleep. So Enlil got irritated, tried to flood. Enki intervened, and that's how the ark got built, supposedly. Now, as I found this out, I was like, you know what, this makes a lot of sense. Because at this time, I was fighting with it. I was like, why is God allowing these evil, stupid demons down here to be tempting us? Why is it like this? It makes no sense. Maybe there is multiple deities and they're like light and darkness fighting back and forth. And I started leaning towards the Sumerian stuff a little bit. It's because it made more sense to me at the time. I made posts on Facebook saying I was attacking God because of the things that I hear. I was like, nobody has free will. You're over here getting these thoughts thrown into your head. Why? Nobody asked God to send Lucifer down here to roam with us. We didn't ask for that. Why is the most evil son of a beep on earth with demons roaming around tempting humans, and then we're getting damned for it for making the wrong decisions? So I was getting irritated. I was like, this makes way more sense. You have a light God over here trying to protect us, and you have a dark God trying to do evil. And that's the way I was for a minute. But it was breaking my spirit. I couldn't explain it. But I felt sad. I felt bad. I felt like I was turning from God in the Bible. So one night, I was at home, still asking, what is the truth to this? What is going on? I don't understand anything. God, I need you to lead me. Mind you, this is after I attacked him, after I did everything. Guys, he's always there for you. I go in there to walk into my kitchen, and my knees wait, and I fall. I fall to the ground on my knees, and I start crying. And I'm just sitting there listening to these voices for a while. And I don't remember exactly what they were saying, but it was endearing stuff. It was how I told you, how they said, I knew you were going to leave. I knew you would come back. I repented. I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for veering away. I won't do it again. And I had a vision of Jesus and all the different Sumerian stuff that I saw. He just grabbed it, rolled it up like a scroll, and just chucked it. Threw it over his shoulder. I don't even know where I went. Like he was saying, I'm the truth. I'm the way. I'm the life. Focus on me, not this other stuff. And I needed that revelation. So I started thinking, and I went to Facebook, and I said, I don't know, I have to go on faith. I explained how the Sumerian text, I explained how the flood killed the Nephilim and the fallen angels, and how these evil spirits are here spreading these perverted messages. And just because the Sumerian texts are older than the Bible doesn't make them more accurate. The Holy Spirit made it a point to put such a long period of time and a lot of different people into creating the accuracy of the Bible we have today, as well as the archaeological and everything else that we can back up. Not just these half texts that are, most of them are even gone. We can't even find them to this day. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't get them destroyed because of what Satan was trying to do. Because until Jesus came, people were going every which direction. They were following false gods. They were listening to these Sumerian stories that these demons were telling them. Finally, got tired of it, you know. I'm not going to go into the biblical stories. You guys know the stories of that. But I shared what I thought about it. I said, I don't understand why they're here, but there has to be a reason. And we're not alone. And everything can't be perfect. Because if everything was perfect in this world, you don't have free will. We have to have choice. And through choice comes good and evil. You may be tempted to go the evil route, but you also have the Holy Spirit guiding you to the good side as well. Which side are you going to take? I deal with this spiritual warfare every single day. I hear things every single day. I practice deliverance. I read. I talk. This is my life now. And I'm okay with that. He gives me words to share that have come true. He gives me visions. He consoles me when nobody else will speak to me. And I think I'm about to end it. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that is important. So let me think for a minute. I don't think so. But if I do come up with anything else, I'll mention it in another video. I'm gonna do separate videos, like actually explaining the visions I had, one by one, just so I can have them on record, and so I can actually focus more on that dream or that vision. I was just giving you guys like a small synopsis here. There's a lot more that I had that I didn't share. I have shared them in other places, but not here. This is mainly about getting my testimony out there, what happened to me, so people understand why I am the way I am today, why I'm so adamant about spiritual warfare, why I'm so adamant about trying to teach you guys about spiritual warfare, why I love the Lord with all my heart, why I serve Him to this day. I've been through a crazy thing, man. He says it's my story. I share it how I want. And I feel like I'm being trained in the ways of spiritual warfare, knowing how this stuff happened, how this works, so I can teach you guys the experiences you may experience. So if later on in the future, if somebody goes through something that I did, they don't fall like I did. All right, with that, I'm going to end it, guys. God bless. I may do like other videos time to time, day to day, as things happen and progress. I haven't decided yet. All right, later.